Hello, everyone. Welcome to All Nerds Here and another episode of Corazon Station. We are so glad to have you with us on this evening or morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching it, if it's the VOD or if it's live. We're just glad to have you with us. Um, it is a, it's been a day for a lot of us. If you're just joining us in terms of current events, there was a deeply heinous, racially, sexually motivated hate crime that was committed in Atlanta in the last 24 hours that the Asian American and Pacific Islander community is still grieving. We are collectively, as the cast of All Nerds Here, as a group of BIMPOC individuals, as Asian American individuals as well. Some of us call for justice, and we more broadly, as BIMPOC in the game space, call for you who are watching to educate yourselves and to take action however you can, but not to be silent and not to be stagnant in this time. We are, of course, very excited to get to the next episode of Corazon Station and play some Pasión de las Pasiones and provide some entertainment to do something in the way that we know how. But we also want to give space for the voices in our community who represent these communities to share their thoughts and to speak their minds on this issue. So before we get to our character intros and anything, I'd like to turn the floor over to those of us who have some remarks. Kevin, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I prepared something. Yesterday, 8 people were murdered in a white supremacist terrorist attack. 6 of the 8 people were Asian women. This was in no uncertain terms a hate crime, one in a long string of many in American history against all marginalized groups, and the latest against the Asian American community, which as of late has been gaining more and more public notoriety, but it has been ongoing for years. We, along the greater Asian community, grieve this loss and feel anger at the systems and institutions that foster these behaviors and this hate and these crimes. If you'd like more information on these events, resources for Asian people to cope with and protect yourselves, and organizations and drives accepting donations, there are links being posted in the chat. Those of you that have been loud with your support for the Asian community in light of these events, we see you and we thank you. Those who've been quietly supported Asian voices to speak up on the matter, to share our pain, our anger, and our sadness, we see you and we thank you. Those of you from without the POC communities that made performative statements, that carried on as if business was usual, that, in all other words, didn't seem to make very little acknowledgement of these events. We see you too.
Thank you, Kevin. Charu or Viditya, would you either of you like to share your thoughts?
I can go next. So I spent a good portion of today and definitely the time before our pre-show trying to draft up what to say in light of yesterday's events. That's what being a person of color in general, and for today, being Asian, means. If you're outside of POC communities and are tired of hearing about and seeing these incidents like these being brought up, it's tiring. We're tired too. We have to decide every day on what takes up the priority, and days like today, everything else, neurodivergence, mental health issues, trauma, familial work responsibilities, etc., have to be balanced with fear and uncertainty and anger and numbness and whatever reactions these attacks drum up. If you need a starting point, let it be today. There's, like was said, there's resources in the chat and more information. If you've been supporting us, thank you. Support our voices today when there's coverage, but keep it going even when it's not trending. Keep your finger on the pulse of how white supremacy continues to systematically oppress POC communities and how it directly led to this. The attack that happened yesterday comes after an increase in violence against the Asian community this year. Just about a month or so ago, there was a lot of incidents going on that didn't get this kind of coverage. I saw a lot of Asian voices talking about it in other communities, but there are a lot of people that said nothing and saw nothing because it wasn't a trending hashtag. Keep your eyes on those things even when it's not something that gains you clout or, something that is popular to talk about in the moment.
Thank you. Vidithu.
I think my good friends have kind of said everything that I think I would have in good words. So go look at the resources, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, all three of you, for speaking. It costs a lot of mental energy to do that. It is a lot of emotional labor, and we are providing it for you in the hopes that you will do something, that you will not stand idly by in the face of injustice and in the face of hatred. We encourage you once again to go get yourself educated on these issues, to consider your complacency, how your actions may be in support of white supremacy, whether or not you intend them to be, because racism is a poison that affects the well that we all drink out of. And it is vital to our survival as people, as marginalized people, and as people who want to be allies to marginalized people, to understand how we are all affected by the system and how the system wants us to be at each other's throats. So we stand in solidarity with the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. We want to make it clear in no uncertain terms that our cast and All Nerds Here denounces white supremacy and hatred and violence against not only these women, but anyone based on their ethnicity, their race, their gender, their sexuality, their ability. But right now, in this moment, especially the identities of those people who were heinously killed. Please use the resources that are linked in chat. There's a card that has a lot of links that you can learn things about. If this is the first time that you're hearing about this kind of thing, if you're still not sure that this is something that is happening despite what people are telling you, please go out and get yourself educated. And then if you can, give what you can. There is a fundraiser through GoFundMe, which will be giving funds to trusted organizations and individuals to make tangible change. And so we implore you that if you have not already taken action, let this be a moment that you are radicalized into taking action and do not stand on the sidelines. With that said, it's a heavy day for all of us, but again, especially our Asian siblings. We're going to try and do a show. We're going to play a game, and we're going to have a moment where we can hold some space and tell a good story and hopefully do some good for some people that are hurting. That's it. There's not much else to say. So let's introduce the cast and the crew of the people that are taking time out of their schedules, we would be doing this anyway. But people who are still spending time and energy and emotional labor on providing some solace and some entertainment in this extremely painful and difficult time. Let's start to my right with the incomparable Charu, our producer. Tell us who you are, what your pronouns are, and who you are playing for us.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her. I'll be playing Nikhil, the former assassin, using the El Caballero playbook, and her pronouns are also she, her.
Fantastic. Next up, we have Alex.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing Kidea, a creepy mantis orchid manipulator who uses the Ladonia playbook. Her pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. And Alex was not with us last episode, but we are very excited to see what things Kidea has been up to. We've got Viditya.
Hey everybody, I'm Viditya. You can, not you. This is my outro. My pronouns are he, him. I'm in my head. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing Kiran, who is La Belleza playbook, and her pronouns are she, they.
Awesome. We have JR.
Hello, I'm JR, and my pronouns are he, him. My character is His Royal Highness, Bearer of the Nine Light, Archpotentate of the Elysian Seas, Grand Captain Admiral of the Trilaxian Fleet, Prince Ismael Rodrigue. Ismael Rodrigue Isabel Juan Francesca Romena Luz de la Aurora Ramile Verdad. His pronouns are were, was, except those aren't pronouns, and he's also not dead. They're still he, him. Just don't tell anybody, okay? I'm trusting you guys. It's a secret.
Uh...
You guys are cool, right? Also, my microphone is here. It's off screen so you can't see it.
Incredible. And recovering from that is Kevin.
Hi, I am Kevin. My pronouns are currently he, him. I play two, who is El Empleado, whose pronouns are he, they, and two is dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
We're all dealing with a lot, Kevin.
Shut the fuck
up.
We'll
but
deal
two
with
is
what you're
currently
dealing
in
with.
meltdown. So.
Yeah,
Dude.
two's been what? Two whole sessions in meltdown.
I was in meltdown most of last session.
Hey, if you're
Most of
looking for
last
if you're looking for a sympathetic NPC, like Guildenstern's right over there.
Our good robo buddy.
He's probably programmed to care.
Probably.
Shaped like a friend.
I must have put it in him somewhere.
Can't believe I thought Kieran would be more sympathetic than Ricky Danger.
That was on you.
I know.
You listen. You almost had me, and then you fucked up.
I know.
You can handle this in character.
Let us see what happened last time on the episodes, because I got a very relevant one.
My name is Simon. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the master of ceremonies for this game, ostensibly. It just means that I get to sit back and watch everybody else tear each other apart. It's great. Sometimes I just say, hey, that sounded like a move. Welcome once again to Corazon Station. We play Pasión de las Pasiones, the world's greatest role-playing game, as you know, written by Brendan Leon Gambetta, published by Magpie Games, coming out very soon. Very, very soon. I don't know how soon, but it's coming very soon, from what I'm told. We are a telenovela role-playing game. We are watching the trials and tribulations of these characters who are struggling with their various goals at the tail end of a TV series. So we're in like the final couple episodes. We've got 6 left. We're gonna find out what happens. Previously, a lot happened. Go back and watch the VOD if you weren't there live. It was bananas. It was some great TV. But in short, a ghost came back to haunt the late Prince Ismael, who was somebody that he'd sent the long way around in one of those escape pods circulating around the space station that our show takes place on. He came back for revenge, and he got it. And Prince Ismail is dead. He was vaporized to dust in front of everybody's eyes. And now we're going to jump ahead in time to a few episodes later and see what happens, where things have taken us. Mechanically, we've got some rules for that. So at the top of every session, we choose something that happened on a previous episode, whether that was the episode right before this one or way, way back, like in the pilot episode or something like that. So last time on, who has an option they would like to tick off the list and introduce a plot element to complicate this week's episode?
I mean, mine doesn't really introduce a plot element, so maybe that's a problem.
I mean,
Clearly,
What is it?
I'm
Two
sure
and
it
Kieran
did.
clearly came so very, very, very close to kissing. This doesn't change anything by introducing that. So maybe
Wait,
I
which
should
one?
pick something
Which one
else.
is it?
You came so very, very, very,
close to kissing.
Wow.
I think we can
Yeah.
make that work, and we can work it into like the stakes of that happening. Like, do you want that to be a moment where like the first time your relationship was shown on screen, and we learn a little bit about like why the two of you became an item for the first time, or a lapse in judgment, or like, are we playing up the angle of how fraught your relationship is? Where like
I think that's it.
you
Like,
almost wanted to kiss each other, and then it didn't happen, and
Yeah.
we're left to kind of feel what that feels like.
playing
What
this like
does
this
Karen see?
this pendulum relationship where like they always get really close. So like this is gonna be when they finally hit it off and commit, but then like something happens, and like that's how that was like that the sort of seed of that scene, really, I think, and just showing that like no, like now the audience is caught up. Like yes, they were on that upswing, but now it's like it's coming back. Like Stu fucked it up, so now the
Okay.
audience knows that they're on the outs again.
Okay.
All right.
What was the first time that we almost kissed?
Yeah, what was that moment?
Does it like mirror this one that happened, or it's like? You,
Oh yeah, of course. It had to have been at Las Ruanas.
Uh huh.
Probably the first time we met was there, and then we met again when you went on a date with the prince.
Uh huh. Yeah.
But like the first time we met was at Las Ruanas. But like it was one of us was much less beat the shit out of,
Right.
and so like yeah, like it's that was like very
Mm-hmm.
like that first time was like an upswing. Like, oh, we got so close, but like darn, like something came through. It was like in a much more endearing, serendipitous moment. Like this last time, it was like they were so close, but like it got all fucked up in like a real bad way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like a teen romance. Like, will they? I want to tell you how I feel, but
yeah.
and now what's so painful is we see like the bar scene maybe that was like framed almost exactly the same way, so all the fans are like, oh my god, they're gonna no, oh god, oh
Yeah.
the pain.
That's where it is.
Oh, maybe I was the one who was wait. Just to mirror the scene, like you found me beating the shit up because early seasons.
I mean, you
would've still
are
been-
a Remora.
Yeah, like
You
early
were
seasons, I
Remora.
would have been like actively a Remora, and it was like, okay, we're good. And then something happened. So that's another, I think. fun
Yeah,
here.
a good
That could be
parallel.
part of it. Yeah. I love it.
Cool.
Just so the audience knows that this is a real fucking.
Yeah.
If that wasn't clear, that to admitting that he spaced Giran's boyfriend.
How dare you?
All in a day's work.
No, I can't say that. That's bad rhetoric, Rue.
That's why
I can't say I was
said
just
it.
doing my job. That's cop shit.
But for Bison, it was Tuesday.
Who's gonna bounce off of that?
Oh my God.
I'll bounce off of that.
Yeah, be the bison.
Yeah, I mean, be the bison you wish to see in the world. I have sworn that one bison dollar will be worth exactly 5 British pounds. For that is the exchange rate the Bank of England will set once I've kidnapped their queen. Go watch Street Fighter the movie
Y'all never
after
seen
this.
Street Fighter?
After our show. But for now, I think I'm torn between I lost something truly valuable that I must recover, or I swore to take revenge against someone important. And I think both like are extremely tied to my very real and just utterly distressing vaporization. I think I'm gonna say I swore to take revenge against someone important, and
Yeah.
I think we get a. I think the way we see this is we get a shot of Prince Ismail, sort of still recovering. And I'd like to, if I may, recontextualize the preparations last time,
Please.
because I think it's a lot better if Kiran actually got the win. I think when I said it last time, I was like, oh yes, obviously I'll be manipulated, and that's why I'll be ready. But I think rather that scene was Prince Ismail's like last resort. I hope I don't have to use this because it might not work, but Alberto is coming back today, and on the off chance that something goes wrong with the vaporization, I want like maybe a chance to survive, you know?
Mhm.
So it was a much less like sure thing, and a much more like, you know, it was a gamble. And I think we see Prince Ismail kind of reviewing the security footage, and it lingers on Kiran and Alberto, and the camera slowly zooms in on Kiran's face as Prince Ismail kind of closes a hand into a fist.
Nice.
Kiran counts as someone important, right?
Ooh. Kind of.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that makes sense.
I've sworn vengeance on you.
Yeah, let's go.
So that was
Okay.
the episode right after you got vaporized.
Yeah.
Your Dr. Claw, I'll get you, Kiran moment.
Okay, I think I can jump off of that then.
Shoot.
Because I think like it's like in this last time on, like I'll get I'll get my vengeance, and then it like cuts to the funeral, right? Like if we're still good with that, JR, that you had a funeral, and like Karen's there, and I imagine, you know, I'm imagining that your funeral is still kind of a party, right?
Oh yeah, obviously.
Because I want to throw wine in someo's face in a fit of rage, and I can't really imagine why there'd be wine at a funeral, but I think
It's at the reception wake.
How many
obviously.
Trilaxian wake.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. I think so. Like you can see that like Karen is like torn by this, is like shaking, and is like looking at whatever a Trilaxian urn would be or whatever, you know what I mean? And is like, oh no. And I want I kind of want to ask, like, who do I'm thinking 2, if that's fine.
Cool.
That I throw,
That
because
you
it's
throw
like,
it at?
yeah.
Dang.
Or like 2 or Alberto. Like it's one of those 2, but I think it's like somebody who's maybe trying to comfort me, and I feel like that's like 2 also makes sense for that. Trying to be like, it's okay, and like Karen just kind of goes off, like is like, it's like, I think she even starts like yelling like, I don't believe it, and like throws wine in Two's face. If I'm gonna go with Two, if that's okay, Kevin throws wine in Two's face and goes like, "It's like you stood and did nothing. I like and like what am I? We had planned this for so long. I don't even believe he's dead. Look!" And then just starts like grabbing the urn and like turns it around and is like, "There's nothing in here. There's nothing in here." And like just kind of tosses it.
Jesus.
There's like a hologram of Prince Ismail like on there that's oriented towards the top of the urn.
Like a dancing.
I think there's like another hologram, like just hanging out, like posing for pictures, and I like throw it at it.
It's Ismail on this weird banana chair with a big golden goblet. Just
No. No.
That's how I want to be remembered.
What a callous man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
These are Destiny jokes.
These are jokes just for us.
I
Yeah,
love
I think
that.
Karen makes a whole scene at this fucking wake, like
At this wig, yeah.
and I think like is like escorted out. She's and like throws off the guards. It's all like,
Yeah.
"I'm leaving." You know what I mean? Like she's like, "You can't throw me out. I'm leaving."
With
And
your
then, like,
ostentatious dress that is completely inappropriate for a funeral.
Absolutely.
The Trilaxian guard are just like dragging you back.
Gotta
Like,
go.
This fucking
You can't.
J-Lo Oscars party.
Like a low back, like
Back, low
100%.
front, high, like leg slit.
What are your thoughts on low back?
no.
Shut
I regret it so much that I said it.
now that we've fallen down an inside baseball hole,
Yeah, let's
Nikhil and
move on.
Gidea, what is your last time on?
Nikhil, clearly you're whittling ducks.
We're approaching.
Dressed like a chipmunk.
What are you talking about? This ain't BT.
We broke JR. We did
Finally.
it.
We took 3 shows.
He'll recover.
3 different series. We broke GR.
I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Okay, the one I was looking at doesn't really have to do with anything. I just want to throw it in. You put in some hard work to get something fixed. So I was thinking more of like a situation rather than an item, just because I wanted to throw in some connection with her and Thu.
Yeah, this situation. You want to fix this situation?
Wait, I
Fix
guess.
our relationship?
I don't know. Now you sound all grumpy. Maybe not.
No, I'm about it.
um,
Sorry, I didn't mean to be grumpy.
no,
I was grumpy.
no.
General, but today especially.
So I think what I was thinking was that she did favors for Two's family, like some major, like financial issue or something where she just had a huge sum of money that she was like, here, I'll just fix it. Like went off, probably offered to fix something, and you were like, okay, maybe she'll like go like hire a mechanic or something, and instead she just like solves the entire problem entirely, but doesn't explain how she manages it. She's just like, yeah, it's that person's not going to bother you anymore, and all the debt that was owed it's done, it's handled.
Oh, so it's not like you're
Really,
fixing. You're
Yeah,
getting rid of like a debt collector or something like that.
yeah.
Does that work for you, Kevin?
Yeah, Two's uncle like really got lost in the sauce at the mahjong tables in Infinite.
Yeah. Those mahjong tables are murderous.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Once you get the one pawn, you can't.
Yeah.
There's always a
You can't
bot,
come back.
that takes your tiles.
Always in the EC.
Y'all play mahjong? Good game.
Gotten into my
Fair approach.
Yeah, no, I think that there's definitely a great. I think it was like a good filler episode per se of like, kind of a side plot line where like maybe Two's been saying like, oh yeah, my family, my uncle's got this money and whatever, and like I just don't know what to do about it. And Nikhil, to use your like your ill-gotten gains and stuff, and like I'm trying to get out of the game, I'm trying to do things with my platform responsibly. I know these people, I know these loan sharks, I've used to run with these guys or whatever. And we have some clips of that episode where like you handle it, like you're these guys are never going to come by and bother you again because I've either like put them in a dumpster or I've just like intimidated the hell out of them so that they like leave the space station or just like decide to forgive the debt or whatever. Because I'm like, oh well, the family's under my protection,
Yeah.
and you know my reputation, so if you want to keep your life, you will stay away from this and you'll forget that this debt ever happened. Does that work for you?
It's like one of those episodes where like wacky fun uncle shows up, but like wacky fun uncle brings all his problems.
Yeah,
You fix
exactly.
Wacky fun uncle's
Yeah.
problems, but then you also tell wacky fun uncle to get the fuck out of here. Don't show up again.
Right. Like, hey, I'm visiting, but also I'm on the run from all these people. And
Right.
I have to leave by the end of the episode. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think that works. And I think that is also like kind of tied in with Nikhil being like, okay, this means that I'm like doing good and I'm not just this person that goes around getting hired to kill people. I am capable of doing like kind things for people.
Yeah, and it also I think helps establish that there is more weight to that relationship that the two of you have, which maybe we'll see some of, considering how on the rocks Kiran and Francis are. Which leaves us with Kidea.
Yeah.
What's your last time on?
So my last time on is you helped somebody to escape a bad situation. So I think there was a cliffhanger at the end of that episode where right as Nikhil was like, I've solved this problem, everything is going great. You know, you're like walking back to your place, and then something bad happened, and then I dramatically was able to you know, climb out of a vent or something and save you, or like a cat saved you from some bad thing that was happening. Do you have a thought for what the bad thing was?
Oh,
Wacky fun uncle tries to whack you.
God.
Oh,
Turns out he was a plant all along.
oh my god. I mean, it could be just like a person. Kidea event.
Blackmail, right? What if it's that gossip columnist that keeps trying to slander
I
you?
was
Yeah.
thinking it's that because
Oh, nice.
that's something that she can't really solve with money or killing
Or violence.
without feeling like horrible about herself. So yeah, I think it's that the gossip columnist like intercepted her and was like, I know what you did. I know what you've
Oh,
done.
that's great.
Oh my god.
Has a little notepad flipped open.
I saw what you did last summer.
What if it's that they had photographic evidence of you completing that transaction with the debt collectors, and is like, now I have proof that you're still a scumbag and you're still working with the
Yeah.
criminal underworld. You keep saying you're so high and mighty, but now I got you dead to rights. And Kidea steps in and like erases the footage or steals it, or like
Yeah, I kind of like even
That's
just like
perfect.
her like leaning in and like whispering something in their ear, and then they just like hand the picture
Oh,
over to
yeah.
her.
Ooh, yes, good.
Yeah.
Powerful.
That's great because Nikhil would totally just be like, oh wow, you're like really good at talking to people. Like she would not consider it anything else. She's like, well, I'm not very good at that, so like I guess that's how it works.
Oh, that's great. So I think that can lead into our first little scene. Since we can find out what Kidea has been up to this whole time.
let's do it.
So I think that maybe we were on the way back to you were on the way back to your apartment, and I say like, oh, I've got something interesting. You know, I'm sure you must have missed me while I was gone, but I've made a very interesting discovery that I'd like to share with you.
Cool. We're walking to my apartment, and this is like a few days after everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, yeah, Kidea. I thought it was weird that I hadn't seen you for a while, but I know you sometimes get really like focused on your tasks. Do you have a new cat? And she like opens up all her things as she's like walking in.
And she's like clearly just like brimming with excitement, right? She's like rubbing her hands together and her other set of hands together, and her like sort of dress-esque like flowery wing-y sort of thing at her waist is like kind of fluttering around in excitement. And then when we get inside, I think she does a little like sweep around the apartment looking for like, you know, bugs or electronics or something. Like she like gets out a little perfume bottle and like sprays it and is like looking at the cloud at like different places, type of things. Then she decides it's finally safe, and she says, "Well, Nikhil, something very exciting has come into my possession, and I think you're the only one that I can trust with this. This is very important, but you must swear to me. Show no one what I'm about to show you, for you're the only person who can keep this secret and keep it safe." And she reaches behind her back theatrically, and she pulls out a glowing, beautiful, multifaceted rainbow cube. It's the cube!
It's the puzzle cube that the Architectos left behind.
Yeah!
Actually, wait, this is a question real quick. Do we know, like, does the public actually know what it looks like? Or are
Yeah,
we
I
all,
was just-
like, searching for something that we assume to be what it is?
I think the trope has to be that you don't know what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just know
It's
it's a
like-
cube.
Yeah.
It's the puzzle box that was left behind by the Architectos or whatever, and so everyone's like, oh, well, it's going to be like a little square, and it's going to be weird, and it's going to look like some of the other alien technology that we found on the station, so it probably looks like X, Y, and Z, you know, like, what's the lookbook, right?
Right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And this thing clearly has little, like, you know, bits of it that can be, like, pressed in and maybe rotated or something. It's you know, we get a nice close-up shot of it. And she hands it over to you.
Just a bedazzled Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
Yes. Just gemstones and rhinestones all over it. Yeah, since we don't necessarily know what it is, I think Nikhil doesn't, like, she has a moment where she's like, it can't be. So she's like, ooh, what is it? Is it like a toy? Is there a cat in here? Is there a cat in here? She's
Says,
like,
no,
looking
no,
at
no. Nikhil, this is the key to everything. This will unlock all of the ancient secrets of the Architectos and give you power beyond your wildest dreams, anything you could want.
Oh, this is
This is
And-
the cube.
like she was just holding it like a box, but like now she's holding it like it's a thing that's gonna go off at any second. She's just like, oh, you just handed the thing that everybody's looking for. You just put it in my. Did you like just stuff it in your pocket and bring it? Like you just walked in here with it. I'm sorry. This is a lot to process. You understand the power that's in here, right? And
Of course.
she's like trying to put it down somewhere, but like it's just like a table. So she's like,
Where are you gonna put it? Like on top of a pizza box? Yeah.
she's just like, I feel like I should put it on like a pillow, but I don't have a cube holding pillow.
Uh-huh. She says, "There's no one else I can trust on this station to keep this safe. It's encrypted. We still need to figure out the puzzle, how to open it, how to work it, but it won't be safe keeping it in my laboratory. You know, too many people would suspect me, but you're the last person anyone would suspect of having this."
And she's like kind of deliberating, and she like looks around now too, even though she knows her apartment is perfectly safe and that you just checked it. But now, like with this very serious thing, she's like, Akiteya, I don't know if we've really talked about the cube that often. I know we've like mentioned it, but she's like deliberating whether she should say this, and she's like, well, it's Kadea, so I'll just say it. It's fine. um, I don't think anybody should have this cube. I mean, this station is a mess for leadership, even without this ridiculous, all-powerful cube in the mix. If one person gets this, I don't think anyone has the leadership skills or the acumens to handle a responsibility like this. I think this should be destroyed. I don't think I should just be holding on to it. I mean, I'm good at what I do, but I shouldn't be in charge of the station like this.
Well, if you can figure out how to destroy it, you let me know. The Architectos really built their work to last. And I don't think throwing it out into space is going to fool anyone.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I
once
I wouldn't do that. Then just some other faction will get it and take over. And
Exactly. You're very wise saying that no one should have this amount of power, but I think if there's anyone who deserves it, it's you. You're such a good person, Nikhil. And I think she moves up and is moves a hand on your shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. The classic Disney villain, you can take it, Deirdre, it's fine, right? So it seems like Nikhil is really, not... I don't want this.
yeah, she both wants it because then it's not in someone else's hand, but also is this thing is terrible. I want it gone entirely.
For the chat, she's putting a big hand on her shoulder, and then maybe a small hand is going up and touching the side of your arm that's holding the cube.
Yeah, right, because you've got multiple limbs. So my question is this, is that as Kidea is pressuring you, right? Kidea doesn't need to make any rolls here because Kidea is in control and Kidea is vastly your social superior.
Yeah.
You are the underdog in this situation. So my question for you, for Nikhil, is how are you responding as she's pressuring? Do you give in, or are you no, really, I want to hold my ground and say, I don't want this. I don't want any part in what you're doing.
Ooh. I actually had another thought. I wonder if I can use Size Up, which is my version of the try to spot something out of place.
Cool.
Because I think
so you're trying to figure out what the motivation is.
Yeah, I think that was also why she had a hesitation on whether she should even tell Kidea what she feels, because
right, that's awesome.
Even though she trusts Kidea, she also knows Kidea and the prince are both people that are looking for power and are looking to, she assumes, control these things. So she's are you really telling me everything that you know?
So you're sizing up rather than trying to accuse Kidea of lying about this is you're not saying there's no way this is a puzzle box.
Yeah.
You're full of shit, right?
Yeah.
That would be a different move, but this is more you're kind of feeling out what her motivations are. Yeah. Okay. So that sounds like you're trying to spot something out of place.
Yeah.
So what is in the fiction, what does that look like as you're do we see a close-up shot of you kind of squinting and looking all around her and kind of asking some probing questions oh, you couldn't be giving this to me. I mean, why me, et cetera, right? I think you kind of set that up a little bit in your previous actions.
Yeah, I think she's just so this is the cube. How did you get it? Everyone's been looking for it. And she's just probing a little bit here and there to see what your response is, because she also,
and you just happen to have it.
Yeah, and you've been missing for a couple of days, and now everything that seemed like a normal Kidea thing is seems suspicious.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a perfect setup. We ask the questions. Have you been intimate with Kidea recently?
I don't think so.
Not really.
Are you free of other distractions? I think yes.
Yeah. I think besides just being sad about the prince, I don't think there's anything on her mind specifically.
And it's just the two of you in this apartment.
Yeah.
As far as you know. And I think our last one doesn't qualify, really, your playbook question, which is, are you doing things without guile and head on? You're like, you are kind of trying to trick her into figuring things out.
Yeah.
So I think you only roll with a +1. And that's okay, because your size up move lets you ask a special question even on a miss.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I had a question for that. Does that mean if I roll a hit, I still also pick from this list? Or is it just on a miss? Because I didn't
So
know.
size, spot something out of place, lets you ask 2 questions from a list on a hit, if you get it.
Yeah.
And your move size up says that when you try to spot something out of place, you ask one of those questions even on a miss. So the way that I would interpret that, and this is kind of a mix for some people, but the way that I read that is, if you miss, you get a question no matter what.
Okay.
And you can still ask one of those questions in addition to like the options that are available to you. So it's like if you get a hit, your menu options open up, and if you miss, you still get something, even if you bungle the roll. You know.
Cool. Yeah, I was like, I could see it both ways, so I just wanted to double check. All right. I got a 9.
Okay, so you get 2 questions. So in addition to the normal questions, which are, how does your character feel about blank? What are you planning? How could I get your character to blank? What do you have of value or use? And what's your character hoping to get from blank? You can also ask, where is the nearest weapon? What are they trying to hide? And what's their way out?
So many of these are things I want to know.
Yeah, wow, that's a great set of options.
That's just too much.
Your cup runneth over.
No.
What are they trying to hide? It's really good.
Yeah.
Because that seems like it's also honing in on
A couple of those
what
other
you're
ones.
looking for.
Yeah, I think that might be one of them.
Cool.
What are they planning is also in that same ballpark.
And also, crucially, on a 9, Alex gets to ask you a question as Kidea.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
And actually, I think, what's your character hoping to get from giving this to me?
Mm-hmm.
Is my other one.
So which that's the first one that you're going with, or?
Oh, yeah, that's the first one I'll go with.
Okay. So what is Kidea hoping to get out of giving the box to Nikhil?
Nice.
Yeah.
I think she is trying to endear herself to you and get you to like trust her and, you know, deepen the bond that you two have.
How do we get that? Is it like an inner monologue from Nikhil?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's just that she looks like, you know, her posture and the way that she's like standing in the room, like moving closer to you. She looks kind of like needy, you know? You can tell that she's like not like self-assured and holding herself back. She's like leaning into you, like she's really invested in you.
She's hungry for this to... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what is your second question, Nikhil?
What are you trying to hide, Kidea?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm trying to hide so much right now.
Oh my god.
That's the money question.
Yeah.
In this instance, what are you trying to hide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I
It's a
think
great question.
she is. Let's see. So I think what happens is that you have like really good like instincts as someone who has lived a very dangerous life before, right?
Yeah.
And so I think maybe there is some kind of test that you do on the cube to like try and figure it out. Can you think of what that would be, and then I can tell you how it goes?
Oh.
Some sort of like old holdout you have from your assassin days or something.
Oh, that's good. I'm trying to think if maybe Nikhil might have like picked up a thing on a job that someone had.
Yeah.
Like
A cool piece of tech or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've got an idea if you want it, which is that you pulled a hit on someone who was like very close to getting the box, and they like with their dying breath told you how to like validate what it was.
Ooh.
Like, oh, I've seen on a terminal the tech said to do this. Like, it'll only open when you ... you know.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that. And maybe that's also why she was willing to. She wanted the cube, so she's like, well, I have the information, and then everything can just. I can just get rid of everything. Get rid of the cube and the information and all of it.
Nice.
Cool.
So that's your answer, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So do you try doing the little thing?
Yeah, I think I think like maybe she has to do it a certain way, and she doesn't expect you to like memorize it as she's doing it, and she like adds in like a few like mistakes so that if you were to try to like redo what she does, it won't turn out right.
That's awesome.
But she has like some specialized like tool or something that she has to use to like, I don't know. All I can think is like probe at it. Like just poke at
It
it.
could be like a
bit.
key or something like that.
Yeah.
And a sequence of buttons.
Yeah.
That's so fun. So yeah, you do it, and like then when you poke the cube with the key for the last step, it like moves and like hops away from you a little bit, and it makes like a little like chittering noise. Because it's not actually a real cube. It is a fake, like, bioengineered little life form that she made to look like a cube. And so it, like, grows a couple of little legs and, like, skitters away a little bit and then sits down again.
Oh.
Yeah, the little Henson puppet just, like, skitters away, and leaving a smear of, like, Vaseline or something on the ground.
Yeah.
It is.
And you turn over to, like, oh, and Kadea is, like, clapping her hands together. And she says, oh, Nikhil, this is why you're my favorite.
Fuck!
Nikhil's like super serious right now, and you're just like, oh, what fun.
Yes.
Mhm. What is your question for Nikhil?
My question is, how could, let's see, how could I get your character to like work with me? Let's see. How could I get your character to like work with me to like not tell this secret to the others?
Ooh.
Oh, that you have like the ability to make these fakes.
Yeah.
Ooh. Probably by making Nikhil think that information would endanger them.
Would endanger the others?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Or that it would endanger you. I think either one of those would make her, like, if you're like, oh, no one can know this, they'll run experiments on me, or they'll use it to make another cube. Like, you can probably convince her of like something techy. She buys tech, but she doesn't like understand it. So you could probably convince her that it would could bring harm to you.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Some very dangerous people want to know how to do this, Nikhil. You know,
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anything came, if you ever revealed that I can make these things, who knows what might happen to me? You wouldn't want that now, would you? Right? That kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. And I think she says, yeah, pretty much along those lines, right? Is like, you know, I came to you first to test this little prototype of mine. I hope you'll forgive my little ruse, but I had to make sure that you would be able to that you would be treating this as though it was the real thing, of course.
Yeah.
Now, did I suspect that with your beautiful little brain, you'd be able to unravel my secret? Well, I thought you might, and I was right to have such a high opinion of you, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think Nikhil is like kind of upset because you got a lot of like information out of her, like her belief on the cube and everything. But then I think you're like bringing it back around to like, well, you're the only one that can keep this information. I think that's something that aligns with her, where she's like, yeah, I should be the one keeping dangerous information. I should be the stopgap in front of everybody else that like protects people. So like, I should be the one that takes on these kind of risks over other people.
Nice.
I'm glad, even though I don't know why I thought that you could have just had the key randomly. That was, I guess that's good. It's a lesson for me not to assume something like that so quickly. Like, I appreciate you keeping me on my toes.
Of course. I wouldn't want your life to become dull, would I?
I won't tell anyone about this. You're right. People here, who knows what they'll do with that kind of information. They'll make it seem like they have the cube and get people to stop looking for it or something.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
No.
She sort of says, like, a little bit to herself.
Nice. Let's jump cut, because telenovelas do that. They jump very suddenly from situation to situation. What's up? Go ahead.
Oh no! I'm here for this.
Well, I think it's got to be a scene with Kiran and probably Francis.
Let's get into it.
I've got a setup that assumes a lot has happened.
Let's go.
Set us up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want stuff to happen. Let's talk.
Ball's in your court.
Kiran is walking out, walks through a door. We see that Kiran is walking around in security station, walking out of the holding rooms, walking away from having spoken with Alberto, who is in custody currently.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm here for this.
Yeah. And two is sitting there on the desk, like waiting for Kiran to like leave this private discussion. And quick question for Alex Kidea: is it okay to assume that you've already delivered these other boxes to these other people you intend to give them to? Or would you like to play out those scenes?
It could be fun, yeah, because I was thinking of just giving everybody a cube and seeing what happened. But if you wanna say I've already done that for you, then you totally can.
I think for two maybe, because if we have a scene together, I have something more interesting to do.
I like the idea that when we pick up the scene, like we see that Chu is like sitting in this new uniform, holding the same puzzle box that Nikhil had, and just like turning it around in your hands, and then we pan over and we see Kiran leaving Alberto from the holding cell.
And maybe you didn't tell everybody what it is, like you did Nikhil or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of like left us to assume or like investigate on our own or something like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Like you're clearly playing favorites.
Mhm.
that. Yeah. So, two Francis has clearly taken control over station security. Like, he's basically wearing what the prince uniform should have been when the prince is on duty, except the prince is a punk. So
Yeah.
wearing it very
He
neat and
is.
tidy, and as the camera like sort of pans to look at Kiran, the box flies in from left frame at Kiran, like as a gentle lob toss.
Oh, okay.
You just throw it at them.
Oh
That's
my
what you want, right?
God.
Not my birthday. It's a weird time to try and get me a gift. I don't know if this is an occasion.
Gifts have to require occasions.
I guess if it's an apology, this might be a good start.
No, it's paying a debt, I guess. That's what you wanted, right? The deed? You wanted power? Kidea left that at my place. I don't know why.
So if you're saying that, I guess I'll ask Alex again.
Yeah.
Does Kieran have one, or has Kieran not gotten one yet?
I suppose it's more fun if you don't have one yet. She
Mm.
was like
Yeah,
on
it's
her
waiting
way
for
to
you
give
when
you
you get
one.
home.
Yeah.
No, I'm for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could see a fun way to play this on both ends. And I think like similarly to how Nico like was just holding it and then suddenly holds it differently, you know.
Uh-huh.
But Kieran kind of stays a little bit more serious, stoic. Is like, sure.
Sure,
I
I don't
mean-
work for you anymore then. You can go.
Well, hold up.
Damn.
Let's. And then I think she like pulls out a seat, sits down, right? Kind of puts it between us on your desk.
Mm-hmm.
How can I trust you? Or well, more, how can we trust Kidea that this is real?
No, you were right the first time.
Dang.
A man in uniform does ruin the man.
Damn.
Out of respect for our professional relationship, you are not in the cell next to Alberto, being accessory to murder.
I guess I do appreciate that. I thought that was the payback. I thought that was, you know, the debt. Why give me this?
I don't want it.
You don't want it?
What do I want all that for? I barely want this, like, motioning to security.
I mean, your family? And I think she like as she's about to like kind of spout a few things, she's like, your family, like you can take care of yourself and others, and
This
She's
lets me
like
take care of my family. That is a threat.
she like picks it back up.
I don't have the demeanor for that kind of life. You do. Clearly.
You know, too, I'll take that as a compliment.
Take it, leave it.
Well, I mean, if you're just giving it away, and I mean, the chances are that Kidea is fucking with us in some way or another. But I'm not a fool.
I'll make sure not to mention that to them.
Oh, you can mention that to them. I mean, I'll probably just tell her tomorrow at work anyway. I don't know. not about this. And then she like puts it in the bag. I don't think
That's
this suits you.
new for you. Expressing that you don't know things, not knowing.
Is that
Damn.
was that intended as a strike?
I think so.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want him to push.
Here's the other thing.
On
I
me.
think it's been enough time that I don't know if you're in meltdown anymore. I don't think that you necessarily triggered the clear condition, but I don't feel like in this moment, like, you're not rushing to find solace in like the nearest sympathetic person, right?
Right.
I think what I'd say is let's have you clear everything except for hopeless or
Okay.
cornered. I think you probably still have like one or two conditions marked.
I think I'm cool with like keeping both those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cornered and hopeless feels right.
Yeah.
You have all the power.
Because I think you'd be like, Kiran, I need this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So let's keep you there, and then we're striking. So
Yeah.
I think you've caught Kiran off guard here.
Okay.
Because Kiran, I think, is trying to like have a moment of connection. Does it sound right? Like,
Is like trying to talk. At least is trying to be like, let's talk. Like you just tosses at me. Like it's also probably been a while since we've like
Yeah.
had a one-on-one. I feel like we're always
Yeah.
in. She probably would have said that as she came in, like, you know, like knowing where this is going. She probably would have
Yeah.
been all like, "Oh,
well,
no
it's been
guards,
like a week or
no."
two since
Yeah.
the funeral, too. Anyway,
Mhm.
so clearly
No third
stewing
party.
about it. Like,
Mhm.
can we just have a fucking conversation? Can we
Uh-huh.
talk? Do you just want to keep giving me the third degree, the cold shoulder, or like do you want to be an adult and like let's actually have a conversation? And two's like, no,
I will.
don't.
I will be a child.
I'm still mad, and I don't care if you're mad or not. Right?
It's like I've been speaking to my therapist, and she says that this is a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, therapists aren't covered in the plan.
No.
Social Security doesn't cover therapy.
Why would it?
Therapy, but not.
Physical
No, it's
therapy.
like-
only.
I think you've caught Kiran off guard, but I don't know if Kiran has wronged you per se. I think you're just doing this to be petty.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you in over your head right now?
No.
Yeah. All right. +1.
Yeah, amazingly.
Amazing.
Plus anything from your conditions, which I don't think is anything.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
So just +1.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, please,
Ooh. 10.
please. Yes. Oh, yes.
Wait, what
Is
you
it a
get?
10, you said?
Yeah, that's a 10.
Oh.
Okay. Your strike lands.
Oh!
Each of you marks a condition. Would you like to take something from Kiran, or would you like to not mark the condition?
What does Kiran have to take?
Huh.
Trust?
Yeah. There's
Otherwise, I could see you not marking a condition because you're like turning your emotions off.
yeah.
Right.
Also, this pushes me into meltdown. Just so you know.
Ooh.
So yeah, I don't think trust makes sense.
Oh.
I would trust sounded good for a moment. Like this is like, no, I'm giving you this fucking key to the castle.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm doing what I said I would. Like, I'll work for you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna melt down,
Maybe in the meltdown you give some information. I don't know.
I mean, you still inflict the condition. It's just that 2 doesn't have to take a.
Yeah, yeah.
You can choose to take something or not mark the condition himself.
I don't know if I have something to take specific.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything to take.
Or to give, sorry.
Yeah. In which case,
yeah, I mark a condition.
yeah, you mark a condition. You have no other conditions to mark, so you go into meltdown. La Belleza, would you like to read your meltdown?
Yes, I would.
Oh,
Oh.
They think they can spurn you, treat you like trash. Not anymore.
This is very good.
You throw yourself at this object of your greatest affection. You confess how long You confess how long you've needed them and how desperately. Maybe you show them how good they could have it. Maybe you destroy something beautiful so that they can only see you. Tomorrow you'll look them in the eyes. You'll look them in eyes that know your fragility. But tonight you'll be without walls. Sorry.
Without whales.
So
this might have been a mistake.
I don't know. This
No.
could be the moment
Yeah.
where like
It could be.
Kiran is like, no, I want this to make it work. You
Yeah.
fool, you absolute goon.
Oh.
I'm trying to give you something, and you're just like shutting me down. How dare you? Or if Kiran's greatest affection is Alberto,
Yeah.
you could turn it around and be like, well, at least this guy treats me with respect.
Yeah.
You know? So what do
I
you
think-
do?
Does he though?
The camera like goes wide angle. You know,
Yeah.
we see the two of you. You're sitting so close apart, but like it feels like you're
Mm-hmm.
on opposite ends of the stage. You know,
I think what does to like say to me, right? Like, what was the last thing that you said to me when you struck out? Strike at
Shit.
me, not struck out. Well, you did kind of strike at
you
Yeah.
said
Oh, it's
Kiran
unusual for
said,
you
"I don't know."
to admit that you don't know. Like,
Yeah, you don't know everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go the opposite direction because I want to push Karen and two a little bit apart.
Yeah.
I think she gets up. She like stands up, and like struts out, but at the door, like turns around and you see, tears, like something that Karen like rarely shows. And she goes, I guess his dog does have a bite. And you're not all bark. And then she like runs off.
I think when two kind of like sits down, takes a sip from a cup, and like sets it down, and like we get a look at this cup. It gets placed on a tablet that has Alberto's like sort of Alberto's mugshot, and like sort of flashing like sort of a blank fill-in box on this. This is like a date of sentencing, and then sort of predetermined sentence, long way around.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So boy might go around again.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
I
All right,
see.
yeah.
Damn.
Amazing.
Abuse your power.
And the camera
Oh.
cuts from that
Yeah.
to him in the cell. His face is the same as it is in the mugshot, just like exhausted, hard, determined, righteous, even.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there glowering at the camera with his hands clasped together, just leaning forward like, yeah, I did it and I'd do it again. But there's something about that I think compels the audience to be like, yeah, this guy, he stood up for something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we have that moment of like just it letting it hang. this tension. We briefly cut to whatever the late Prince Ismail is doing.
We cut to a
To have
to a
it.
grave.
That's a BBC Earth like style shot of a worm in dirt.
A hand.
I think it's that same. We established it as a laboratory, right?
Yes.
In the junks,
Mhm.
just like an ancient forlorn laboratory. And I think we see the prince's hand stroking one of Kidea's strays that has wandered in there, and he is eating eating lavishly, by which I mean he has some of the leftovers from his dinner with Nikhil. He is not well groomed. He has several days growth of facial hair, and is you can see like a makeshift water filter. It's clear he's been living in this room and like has had to like harvest steam to condense back into water to drink, and all of that sort of thing. And I would like to hack the station cameras.
So we see your little hidey hole, and you're
Mhm.
leaned over one of these computer terminals, bypassing the security codes because you were the head of station security. You
I
know how to do
was.
this.
I still know what's going on.
You can do it from anywhere on the station. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
I would like to find out who was at my funeral,
Okay.
and to see if I can hear what they said to kind of see, well, what did who were my allies, and death has a way of revealing everyone's true colors.
Of course. You are not viewing the footage with an accomplice.
I am not with
and-
anyone more than just an accomplice.
Right.
Although I think I think Mittens here is
Gonna ask what name you give.
yeah.
And I don't know if you
I
have
don't
anything
think
to
I have
hide.
anything to hide.
you were there. You weren't there, and you were
I-
dead.
Yeah.
So,
I'm mostly just trying to seize control of this situation.
yeah.
And kind of figure out, all right, well, now that everyone thinks I'm dead, what next?
What can I capitalize on? Right. So
Mhm,
go ahead and roll
mhm.
+1.
All right, that is a 9.
Okay, you get one of those options.
All right. I want to discover a secret that I wasn't looking for.
Okay. So you were looking for who was at your funeral. right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you. The feed shows you the whole thing basically.
Mhm.
It's probably within the Trilaxian consulate, so of
Oh,
course you can get
definitely.
right in there and see everything in this little function room. And you see, I presume all of the cast was there, or at least the ones that were immediately involved: Nikhil, Kiran, and Francis.
Yeah, did anyone not go?
Ooh.
Guildenstern didn't.
No.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, two and Kiran were there obviously because
Yeah.
Kiran made a scene with two.
Right.
Yeah.
Was Kidea at the funeral?
I don't think so. I don't think she knew about it because she was like developing her fake cubes at like a different secret lab that's not even her
Right.
usual lab.
Right.
So she was like deep in that.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
Kidea is not there.
Yeah.
That's one thing you find out. The rest of them, I think, are there, as we've
Yeah.
established. I think Sin Problemas shows up.
Ooh.
Because Sin Problemas likes to know what's going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Game recognized game.
Yeah.
One assumes, right? This is all extrapolation
Right.
because the
Right.
audio is garbled or
Well,
like
it's-
it's terrible. You know.
Probably those showed up to see if there's an open casket just to confirm. You gotta confirm yourself. You gotta
Oh
pick
yeah.
the
my
dog tags.
god.
I just
I
want to
think
look.
Alberto is there to be like, yeah, no, I put that guy in the dirt.
Oh shit.
Yeah, for sure. Like Alberto goes to like.
Oh, maybe
So-
that's what the scene is that's where 2 arrested.
No, yeah, Alberto.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Mm.
Alberto
Oh, and
gets
that might
arrested
be
on the
also-
way out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh.
the right like, how dare this guy show up? So you don't know
Yeah.
what happens, but Alberto shows up, like, and I think that causes a stir.
Mm-hmm.
Right, there are people who are looking around like, oh my god, like some of your crew, like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, are like, hey, that's the guy that we sent into space.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, like, and so they have an altercation, and he shoves past them.
Yeah.
And you kind of fast forward through the footage, and somewhere in there something happens where there's an altercation between him and 2, which ends with 2, I'm gonna say, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but like maybe wrenching his arm and tackling him and being like, you're coming with me, like,
Yeah.
I'm asserting myself as station security,
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I'm arresting you. And so
I
he
think
puts
if-
like the hollow cuffs on him or whatever.
if Also, if we want maybe like a more solid reason why Karen threw wine at you is maybe there was like some seeds of it earlier where Karen's
Ooh.
like,
Oh, I thought you meant seeds in the wine.
no,
No,
I meant, like,
just went to a
pomegranate
place. That
wine.
wasn't
They
even-
just started just filtering it out.
She's like,
'Cause
look
I-
at these
'cause I-
fucking seeds. I hate it.
Who gets their wine with pulp?
no, pulpy wine.
Ew.
Oh my god, it was in the will. Israel was like, I want pulpy wine. And I was like,
Trilaxian
Trilaxian
wine
custom.
is known for its pulp.
God.
well,
Wine of
I-
chia seeds.
I guess I'm thinking like you arrest him after Karen has left because I think that's like another like nail in Karen's like, how dare you like arrest my boyfriend, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
how could you do this? Like, and I wasn't even there. Like after I had gone, like you waited.
Well, did
for
y'all-
me.
Then I assume y'all didn't come together.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
even maybe like Karen was also like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, there's like a
Yeah,
an absolute scene
Yeah.
of you two together in your quarters, like saying, like,
Yeah.
"No, you can't come, you idiot."
Yeah.
They want
And
to
he like
arrest you.
he shows up and I'm like,
Yeah.
excuse me, and you're like, you arrest him, and I'm like, no, and I like throw wine in your face.
Yeah, exactly. That's the scene.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
he comes in from like a side door.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
like so much
I go
episode
to
of
charge him, but
One
like,
of
you get
Jane
in the
the
way.
Virgin or whatever.
Yeah.
But, so
What are you doing? at the
Guildenstern
party?
and Rosencrantz.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and then everything else happens, but that seemed to click a little better than.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that setup. So that's the secret that you are not looking for, but you find out is like, oh, well, I've been down here for so long. I guess two thinks that he's cock of the walk now, and also like this guy that killed me is being arrested. Does that work for you as the secret, or do you
I think so. I think that's pretty good.
go for it? What do you do?
You know, Senor Mitones, you don't actually look that much like Mittens, really. You remind me of my first cat. The one I had growing up in the palace. Friskrax, I think. You don't really look like one, but you've got their personality. Yeah, that's the one.
Jaw splits.
Yeah.
The mouth opens the wrong way. You're like, oh.
A mouthful of teeth that only a sadist or masochist could enjoy. I always forget which is
Oh.
which.
What?
I want to say it's masochist, but who even knows? They think I am dead. I am free of all of it. Free of my station, free of my titles, free of this station. You and I and our friend there could just leave. We could disappear and find a new horizon, a new beginning. I could forget all those. I could forget all those elocution lessons. I could wear whatever I wanted to. I might even try on
Sweatpants.
sweatpants.
Hands made of sweat.
Ew. Ew.
Why would I want to wear something that makes me sweat?
My whole life has been a performance of one kind or another. And now I feel like I have a chance at freedom. But can I do that? Can I truly leave behind my people? There is a whole planet depending on me.
Mittens
Can I-
looks up at you expectantly.
Yes, of course. Here you go. Just dangling a bone.
Right. It sounds to me like you are processing your feelings out loud.
I am.
Audience, are you rooting for Prince Ismail right now?
Oh, am I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad backstory time.
You got me. You got me with the planet is in need. I would have.
With the Barrett Final Fantasy.
You got me. You got me with the weird cat.
Kevin, are you being pensive or did you freeze?
I
Kevin
can't
froze.
tell.
Kevin
Oh,
froze.
yep.
It would be the long con. It would be truly masterful otherwise. But it's
Oh
a
my
perfect
God,
frame to get
yeah.
frozen on.
It's really
Uh,
good.
Well, it doesn't matter because it's a maximum of +3. So we're gonna try and get
No.
Kevin back into the chat, but
right.
also
No.
you're gonna roll an add +3.
No.
I will roll and add +3. That is an 11.
Fantastic. So on a hit, you get to choose one of the options, and you get to set the scene where you follow on that information immediately.
Ooh.
Would you like to have the audience reveal a crucial event going on outside of view, tell you how you might find love with a partner of their choosing, or tell you how to get blank to blank?
Oh, that is a good question. I think it's a crucial event going on outside of view,
Ooh.
right? Because I feel like it might. I think that's it. I don't know. Maybe like I feel like that's the thing that's going to keep him. Like there's something happening that's going to get him to stay.
Right. Like, oh, I could just leave everything.
I could leave.
Yeah.
But no, there's something that keeps me here, and it's blank.
Ooh.
Mhm.
So, audience, what scene is going on just outside of view?
I'm kind of thinking it's a Kidea scheme.
Ooh.
Oh.
Because like the last time the two of you talked, right? Like
Mhm.
it was this like uneasy, hey, we need each other technically, right? Like for as much as needed, right? Like it's like we can figure something out. So maybe like you didn't know that he was dead,
Right.
and then like the plan is moving along, and then like maybe you realize, oh, he's out of the picture, and then like Kidea is now moving forward with something that
Oh,
could be
right.
very detrimental to like
Mm.
the prince and like everything going on. I don't know exactly, like, but I think that could be like that could be something.
Yeah,
Muscling
that's
back in on his
interesting.
territory or his
Yeah.
plot or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Kind of want to say it's something to do with our two factions, the Tesauros and the Espadon.
Mhm. We also have that third group, the Aguante Research Group.
Mhm.
Right,
Scientists.
Maybe. Because the Tesauros were the ones who were against the prince, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, and the Espadon also wanted, they wanted Nikhil to deal with me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was either me or Sin Problemas, right? So
Yeah.
like,
Right, one of the
me
two of
being
you.
dead is great for you, Nikhil.
I'm totally done. And I didn't have to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe there's a scene with like there was like a raid that we had planned against the Tesoro Combine, perhaps.
Mhm.
You were gonna like use my, access codes to get into there and bypass their security, and then we were gonna like try and take them down once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are like with Kidea, like, I don't know, boss, should we go for it? And she's like, it's what he would have wanted.
Oh.
Oh. Wait, can I throw another small thing in
Yeah.
here that I think would be interesting? Because it's like, how does the prince learn about this, right? And he's like, looking through the cameras, maybe looking for something, but the cameras aren't showing him exactly what he needs. What if your cat is like unknowingly patched into you? Because it's like one of your creations, right? That got loose. And so maybe like it opens its mouth and like your words come out. Like it's like transmitting.
Oh, holy shit!
That's amazing. Yeah. It just says what would it be? What would it be? It says like activate Operation Fallen Glory, and then we can see
Oh,
that there's
damn.
Prince Ismail's henchmen are all like riding cats, and the cats all say that at the same time.
Oh
And
my
so
god!
they like swoop in this like coordinated cavalry attack, and just start messing up Zoro.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
What
Oh my god!
so threatening.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's like you made walkie-talkie cats, but one of the prototypes got lost.
Yeah, and she just did the like she pushed the biological broadcast to all cats button. So it hit that one too.
So the cat is looking
all
up
cats.
expectantly at you, which is perfect because it like looks like, oh, I want a treat, but no, it's just like zoning out. Its eyes glaze over, so you're dangling the
Shit.
piece of meat at it, and it pops its sideways jaw open and announces, "Initiate this protocol," and the camera cuts to like a horde of these cats where like they spent a whole bunch of money on this one CG shot where the cat another cat does it, and then it pans up to reveal Kidea and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern like riding these things like that. The arrival of Gandalf.
Yeah.
Helm's Deep, as you're like the camera spins around and you're all just like charging this Tesoro like base within the
Holy
station
shit.
somewhere in the junks.
I think Prince Ismail hears this and kind of sighs. No, you are right, Senor Mitones. None of us really can escape from everything, can we? If Tesoros is being hit, then Espadon will be looking to follow up.
Uh,
Which means that the Aguantes will be in need of a guiding hand. We have work to do, Senor Mitones.
And it nuzzles
What a good
you.
kitty.
Perfect.
Eh.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I think Prince Ismail kind of pets the cat and gathers up the supplies he's used and turns to face the tube.
Yeah. We pan over, and before we can see the stasis tube that the Architecto is in, the camera cuts to black, and we go to a commercial. And that's where we're going to take a break. You're going to follow up with the scene where you capitalize on that information when we come back from break. We're going to do our best to get Kevin back in here and see what's going on. So go ahead and get yourself some Takis and some water, stretch your legs, take a bio break, do what it is you need to do. We'll be back as soon as possible. We're hoping about 5 to 7 minutes. So do what you gotta. Thank you for joining us for the first half, and stick around for the second. We'll be right back.
Woo!
Welcome back, everybody. We are here for the second half of Corazon Station. Unfortunately, Kevin is having some serious internet trouble that is going to prevent him from coming back to the game this episode. But we're going to proudly soldier on without him, and we hope that his internet recovers quickly. If he does get it fixed in the next however long we have, like half an hour, then we'll be getting back in. But otherwise... 2 has been mysteriously written out of the rest of the episode, so I'm sure he'll be able to.
Because the actor he got a movie deal and was like, I gotta go shoot, and they're like, well, great.
We only have this one scene with you for this episode.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thankfully, the soundstage is right across the lot, so they can just
Just
film
ran
very
off.
easily.
Quickly.
The second the chalkboard goes down on this one shot, it's like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah,
over.
the like makeup artist is tending to him on the way, and it's like the opposite of this. It's like an action movie where the actor's playing like a totally confident character and competent too, and it's just like shooting missiles and like not shooting missiles from a missile launcher, but like out of the sky, you know,
With
while
this shotgun.
skydiving. Oh, it's very good.
Very good.
Galaga,
Tune in for
the
season- that's
movie,
the-
this summer.
That's the season 4 teaser.
Starring Francis.
The shmup, right? We're doing the shmup RPG.
Yeah.
So we're coming back on your feelings, processing your feelings is the move that we just made.
Yeah.
So once you roll a 10 plus on that move, you get to set the scene where you follow up on the information from the move. So we are
Right.
seeing Prince Ismail follow up on the information that Kidea is following through on an old plot, leaving people vulnerable. So where do we find you as you follow up on that?
Let me pull up our locations. I think we find me. We haven't really seen the Aguante researchers that much on camera these last few episodes, but the audience is definitely familiar with what they look like. But what if they're at the Eclectic Sheep?
Ooh.
Yeah. Are they like off duty or?
I think they've been called there for a clandestine meeting.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So the Eclectic Sheep, there's a lot going on here. The Aguante Research Group is the third faction that we haven't really seen a lot of on Corazon Station. So we have the Tesoro Combine, which is like Space Amazon Megacorp coalition that also rules planets through corporate jurisdiction. We have the Espadon Empire, which is an actual empire of those Jaguar aliens, primarily, and of course their assorted holdings. Very militaristic. The strongest physical presence on the station, even though the Tesoro Combine is sort of more of like the political strength. And the Aguante Research Group is here because this station poses some very interesting research opportunities for science. And so they are not necessarily a galactic power per se, but they are kind of an independent research group that operates throughout the galaxy and has a fair amount of sway in that respect. I think a lot of people contract through them, and they have solved various medical problems and created all kinds of new compounds and materials and innovations and things like that. So they want to learn more about space and the ancient aliens that built this place. So I think we've seen them at least once on the show, but they tend to look like sci-fi scientists, like bodysuits and lab coats, superfluous goggles and glasses and everything, and gloves.
Got a little bolus rolling around.
Yeah, probably there's a bolus.
Oh my god, that's even better because like they're totally like just utterly out of place here.
Yeah. So Eclectic Sheep is I don't know if we ever established this either.
No, we
I
should.
think so.
To this location, but also how we came to it. When we set up this game, Pasión de las Pasiones wants you to create like a TV kind of script bible. That's like, here are the locations, here are the characters that we care about, here's some custom moves, some questions for people, but like, what is the TV show, what is the meta of the TV show, etc. We shared a little bit of that back in episode 1. But to design the space station, because we wanted a little more meat on those bones, we played a game of, I'm sorry, did you say Street Magic, which is a fantastic little indie game. You can go to, I believe it's Sea Excursion on itch and check it out. It's a world building game where you're sort of normally building cities and kind of learning about the communities and the people that live there. But we used it for making a space station, So shout outs to Kara and that game for letting us create this setup. But one of those locations that we made during that game is Eclectic Sheep. An Eclectic Sheep is like a nightclub slash hookah bar, except instead of just smoking and drinking, people share dreams. You go there and you sit in these little pits, like 70s conversation pit kind of things, with a device in the middle and VR goggles, and you smoke some hallucinogens, and you plug into your consciousness into this set of VR goggles, and you have visions, and you also kind of connect to a dream, so like people can kind of go in and out of your consciousness, and you can share these experiences with people together. So they are here. This is the place I think that does not normally attract scientists per se, normally. But there's all kinds of people that are trying to forget things, remember things, share experiences, etc. But it's a kind of a seedy place, and so it's very out of place that a bunch of these button-down white lab coat scientists are hanging out here for some reason.
And I think the shot is like, one of them walks up to one of the terminals, right, and it's all the like cacophonous loud noise, and then all of a sudden it's just like it's the instant transition, like they lean back with the VR goggles on, and then you were in a dreamscape, and I would like to be there as well.
Yeah, so you are in the dreamscape with them.
Yeah.
You've logged on.
Well, it's about time we had a chat, don't you think?
Are we in this like loungy?
Yeah, I think
space
it's a nice lounge, dreamed up from Prince Ismail's memories of what Trilax was like, of the palace.
Yeah. Red velvet everywhere.
Just everywhere, elegant statues. Of course, they're Trilaxian statues, but no one has made a background that I can just grab easily like this.
Yeah, and the scientists I think are there, still wearing their garb because they didn't bring any like special skins or anything with them, so it's just like a rough approximation of what they look like. And they all kind of look over at you, very surprised. You're not supposed to be here.
Of course not. I'm not actually here. You don't think this is really me. This is all a dream. You've never done this before, have you? I can tell by the look on your eyes.
We confess that this is a new experience for us, but it is
Yes.
very important to the ARG that we experience everything that the station has to offer, and that we plumb the very limits of the humanoid mind.
And that's what I'm here to bring to you. I am a messenger from, well, my master is a dashingly handsome man, just incredibly good looking and extraordinarily generous. But I've come with some information that I feel could help you out. You see, the Aguante group wants perhaps what is best for the station. They want to understand how everything works. You want to experience everything this station has to offer in an attempt to understand it. Is that not the case?
Yes, in so many words, but
And yet, here you are, stymied at every turn. The Espadon want to lock everything down on this station and claim it as their own. Their offices are protected by automated defense turrets. The Tesauros Combine want to buy everything that isn't nailed down and sell it back to you.
they look at each other and they sort of like nod and shrug, like.
And like Prince Ismail's outfit is like he looks mostly like himself, but he's wearing like a very elegant host suit with these like fancy onyx cufflinks.
Yeah.
And his tie kind of shifts, and it's like the cosmos, like it's like a star field that when he moves, it's like you know, it's like it's a cutout into the cosmos. So like
Yeah.
he takes a step and there's more contiguous like stars underneath it.
It costs like 600 silver at the Eververse shop. At least.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! And they're like nodding, and one of them, I think, just sort of crosses their legs very tersely and like takes off their simulated glasses. Do you have a point with all of this?
Yes, of course. You need an ally. You need an assistant. You need to grow for yourself. You need to seize the reins. There's an old Earth expression. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the language, but it's something like carpe diem. It means you must take the opportunity as it presents yourself. As it presents itself to you, rather.
And you propose that you are the person to give us what we need.
No, me? Heavens no. I'm simply a messenger. But when you unplug from this dream, you will find that you have a token. Bring that by the bring that by the Trilaxian embassy, and they will give you everything you need. But you must do it now. Now is the time. The Tesseros Combine are distracted. The Espadon will be reacting to that in a moment. This is your chance to act, to seize power for yourselves. You'll need help, of course, but I have it on good faith that the Trilaxian Council will do everything they can to help you. Will furnish you with exactly what you need. And then in the like where that statue is, it kind of flickers, and then it's the tube.
Oh, it's the tube with the Architecto and Stasis.
What?
Oh, snap.
But y'all are in a dream. Wait, you are in a dream.
Yeah, we're in a
you're in
dream.
a
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to. I was like, wait, are you a
This sounds like you're demanding what you deserve.
I am demanding what I deserve.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, so I believe I am seizing control of this situation.
Yes, you are.
I am offering something of value in this return. Oh,
Yes,
in
you
return. I don't know if they love me in this moment.
They do not.
They do not.
So you enjoy a +2.
Well, I enjoy a +3 because I'm still righteous.
Heck yeah.
So let's
Use those
see.
conditions.
Oh, thank goodness for that +3 because that's a 7.
7 total or a 10?
A 7 total.
Okay,
Oh,
fantastic.
Yes.
The target of your demand chooses to either concede, refuse and escalate, or run away, and you take something from them.
Yes.
They can't take conditions as NPCs. But I think in this case, they're going to sort of both run away and concede in a way. I think what you're going to take from them is influence, like influence over them. If
Excellent.
this were masks, you would have influence over them.
Right.
But it is not. But what you do is like, okay, now they did not take you seriously initially, and now they are like, okay, now this is someone who we have to pay attention to. And so I think they maybe what you've taken from them is doubt that you're not not worth their time. So I think that's right. You're right where the call disconnects. They like all like take the headsets off in a cold sweat. Just I don't know if we can do this again. This is do people really do this for fun?
And then
they look down and they've all got the token in their hands that has the stamp of the Trilaxian embassy.
and the seat where Ismail would be is empty. Bum, bum,
Exactly.
bum.
That's so good.
Mystery. You should have gotten a +1 to that too from the.
Yeah, it would have made it an
process.
8.
Yeah.
So I was safer, but still not enough for the good old 10.
Yeah. Almost, but not quite. Perfect. I love that. So you now have potential allies in a Guante research group. You have their attention.
Good.
From here, we jump elsewhere.
background.
I want to see Kieran's meltdown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Meltdown rampage. Meltdown
Meltdown
rampage.
rampage. Meltdown rampage.
So previously, as we established in the first half, Kieran and Francis had a tete-a-tete. Francis decided to swing hard at Kieran emotionally, despite Kieran's attempts at trying to bridge the gap and make things right. And you ended up storming out in a pained huff. So your meltdown condition only clears when you basically throw yourself on the object of your greatest affection.
I just saw that one of my kind of like one of the thematic things that they're saying is maybe you destroy something beautiful so that they can only see you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to like ruin Two's apartment or something?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Well, I wanna. I don't think this is like a mechanical flashback, but what is something? I'm gonna talk this out real quick because I feel bad and also I'm not sure because so like Nikhil and Karen's relationship is not bad. They're like friends, is what we've established. So it's not like
Professional
Karen's-
acquaintances at the very least.
at the very least.
Even when he's not here.
but it's not like it's not like Karen's like Nikhil, you're my like rival in romance. Like I think maybe it's like
Yeah.
a little bit, but it's like I don't want to harm you to get to. Like that's like we don't need to ruin this for one of us to end up with that. You know?
Goddamn.
Unless you're so angry during the meltdown
okay.
that you decide that like that none of this would have happened if you were out of the picture. You know, you're taking this person away from me.
That's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. I'm wondering if that's too petty. But as I say it out loud, what is too petty for Karen? Like what?
For Levayez, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The pay attention to me playbook.
No, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say
That
you're free
works.
falling, but that's more Tom Petty than too petty.
No.
So my question, and because Kevin's not here, this is to Nikhil. What is something that you gave to, or like some like icon of your relationship that maybe Nikhil can, or not Nikhil, sorry, that Karen could like destroy?
Yeah. Trying to think. What would she have given?
Because it's like destroy something beautiful so that I am the only one that he sees. I was thinking about like it's like maybe Alberto is like her current lover, but I think it makes just a little bit more sense if it was too kind of like in the long run,
Yeah.
which is why I'm like kind of turning back on that decision earlier because he's also in jail.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
little harder. I think it'll sting more.
Trying to think of like. It would either be like something very valuable, maybe like maybe a thing that Thu had like when he was young and she found like another version, or it could be like something sentimental of hers, like she's like, oh, this is something I had as a kid and I want you to have it, like something that if it did get broken, like Thu would know because it was one of a kind or something.
Yeah, like a hand carved sculpture or a irreplaceable, like a painting or something like that. Or
Yeah.
a unique piece of jewelry, a piece of driftwood, or like.
Yeah.
I think jewelry works. Like, I don't think Nikhil is a type to really have, like, fine jewelry, but this was something that she just always had. Like, she's like, I don't know who gave this to me, but I always had it as a kid, and it doesn't particularly suit me, but I'd like you to keep it because I think it'd look good on you, and it's you
And
can remember me.
by
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I think the scene is like, it's kind of fast cuts of like Karen, like you see her driving, right, and she's like speeding away. She's like uh, crying up a storm, right, and it like cuts quickly to her like on the bars or like on the whatever of the jail in front of Alberto, like, I'll get you out. I'll figure it out. I'll make him pay for this. I swear to God. And I might have the answer. I don't know anymore, but we'll be free. Just wait. Don't do anything. And then like it cuts back to the car, and she's like making turns, and you know it's raining. The meltdown. And she's like the world is melting down
Right.
with me. You know, what I
Everything
mean?
is fading so that the lights of the station are just blurs.
Mm-hmm. And then like she steps out into like this. Kevin's not here to talk about what Tu's apartment is like.
He isn't Chad.
Yeah, Kevin, give me some details. I'll keep going while you catch up with stream. But I think she like bursts in, like has his key card, you know, like is registered, and is like looking for shit. She's like anything to get Alberto out. I need some fucking dirt on this guy. I hate him. I can't stand him. I can't. And then I turn over and I see the necklace, like probably like on his desk or something, like kept somewhere probably he. Oh my God, no!
He lives with his grandma and his cousins. And
Is he just kicking the door and there's like just 3 generations crammed into
Yeah, I
crammed into a 2-bedroom?
Oh my God! I'm starting to.
The mixable, like, oh?
Holy shit! I know.
Oh my God! I think. No, I think it works. I think they're like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "No."
Or maybe you
Ron,
pretend
my
for
dear,
a
you
second.
must come in out of the rain. It's so the artificial rain. It's so cold, and
It's so cool.
you must be. You're like shoving past.
I'm like, I can't deal with this. Everyone's kind of like, "What is she doing?" And I think Karen sees the necklace, and just like you see her face go from like tears to anger to like she like wipes it dramatically, and she just picks it up and then like storms out, right? And then I think like so it's like cutting and she's driving again, and it's very dramatic, and I think she gets to like a junkyard, right, or like a disposal area. She like parks, she gets out again, and she's just holding on to it like, he'll know. This motherfucker doesn't know who he'll come crawling back to me. He thinks he can take Alberto away from me. He thinks he can, and then like pulls out the cube as well and is like, "Two, I hate you," and then like throws, I think, both of them into like both of them into like the station trash center, just like off a railing, like that.
I think it's a crucible. Like it's where they go to melt stuff down,
Yeah.
and then the molten material gets like pressed into like new metals and stuff. So you're standing here, the camera angle, this sharp Dutch angle up at you as you're illuminated from below, glowing with the heat of this forge.
I'm imagining that as
Holding
like,
the cube and the necklace, and you're screaming at him, and the necklace and the cube go cascading into the hot molten orange and yellow metal.
I think like the camera pans up, like, you know, like it looks, you see like them fall in and burn, and like it's dramatic. You're like, these things should have just been incinerated, but instead they're melting for some reason. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it
Like,
takes forever.
it takes forever.
And for the benefit of the audience, the cubes are not sentient. They cannot feel pain.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Because they're organic creatures.
Despite the
Holy
fact that it is
shit.
alive, she didn't.
Yeah,
build
it's
pain
like an organic.
sensors
It's an
into them.
organic machine, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a really big cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
It's like if Roboraptor had like flesh in it. Like you wouldn't.
Ugh.
Make it worse.
Yeah, it's just the camera like pans up and you like it's like looking down and like the glowing flame is showing like
Yep.
a spurned, angry kid.
Your
who's,
makeup
like,
is smeared, but
just-
it makes you look incredibly beautiful regardless.
Yes,
Mhm.
100%. He'll rue the day. I'm the like he can't do this to me. Only I can do this to him. How dare
Oh.
he?
Ooh.
I think
It's
yeah, it's like it's weird like self-reflection. You know what I mean? She's like, I understand. I might not be the best person.
Mhm.
I don't care.
Does that mean that Alberto is the object of your greatest affection more than 2 right now? Or is 2 the object of your greatest affection? Like, do you do this, and then after you've done it, have like a moment where you sink to your knees and you're just like, I've done this, but I need you. You know?
Yeah, I think this is like so over the episodes that we didn't see, Karen was maybe going through like a mixed honeymoon phase again, where it's like, oh, Alberto's back, like we're in love, like
Yeah.
oh, like I think the audience is like, oh, good, like Karen's here, like Alberto's here, like it's rocky and weird, and she's got some like, and she's worried about the prince, but Alberto's back, and we got to worry about Alberto being thrown in jail for a crime, and like, you know, there's like some back and forth of like maybe 3 or 4 episodes of like, oh, maybe she can find love, like maybe they'll figure it out. And then this moment I think is like when she grabs the necklace and like tosses it, it's like obvious that she chose 2 as the person that she focuses on. Like I think maybe even like there was some piece of evidence or something, right, that like she almost stumbled on his desk, like something that could actually get him out. Like he didn't have a warrant, like she found a warrant on like arresting him, like there was no actual security tapes or like just something, and instead she goes to like, you know, like she chooses to focus on 2 instead of Alberto. Like it's I think that's kind of the turn that happens. So as she like kind of falls down and just, I think she just like starts crying again. She's just like, I can't deal with this.
I'm gonna push you a little bit. I think Kevin's not here to respond,
So,
but I think to throw yourself at 2, I think like you call and he's not picking up.
yeah.
So your confession of love is this message that he's gonna come back to.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, then maybe. Sorry to retcon a little bit more than maybe. I think you see, like, I pull out the necklace and the cube, and then you see me throw something, but we're not sure what it is. Like, which I threw, and then I, like, call, and then, like, my hand opens, or, like, you finally see what's in my hand, and in my hand is the necklace, and I chose to throw the cube instead.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes, that's what we need.
There it is, yeah. And then her voicemail is like, I want the house. I want to live. I want to live with you. I'll take the dental. That's all I need. You know, like I'll help you with your cousins and your grandmothers and your aunts. I don't know anymore, and I'm lost. And every time I'm lost, I find you there. I'm sorry. Please. And then it like hangs up.
Yeah.
And then I think like it just kind of zooms out. I think she like
Yeah.
kind of sits there with the fire behind her, like the crucible behind her.
The camera slowly zooming out as you're like just holding your comm and the necklace in the other one, and we see just the glow and the bubbling noise of the furnace as you're in this wasteland, this junkyard, which clears your condition, I think, because ugh, like you've done this destructive stuff, you've taken this object, you've pleaded desperately, like, I need you, I'm sorry, like, I'm so furious. You've made people very angry. Like, I think, to go back to the pho idea, that like to his family is like, well, we were just about to sit down and you're like shoving past them and like knocking over the food.
Oh,
like, I don't want any damn pho.
Yeah.
So like your relationship with the family is extremely
Oh yes, yeah.
upended, you know.
And it's very important to the family relationship.
Right, like one of the cousins like comes over and is like, you can't go in that room, and you're coming out storming with the necklace and like shove past them or whatever, you know, just leaving the whole house a tear.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, where do we go next? I think we should have some Nikhil time or some Kidea time or both. And like, remember, you can always insert yourself in the scenes too. Like, you don't necessarily have to have a move for it.
I need to insert myself.
I kind of want to see what Nikhil's been up to, because we kind of know what I've been up to for the last bit.
Okay, so Nikhil,
Let's see.
you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea for where you want to frame a moment?
I have one if you were looking for something.
Yeah, I have like a smaller thing, because it's funny that you were leaving a message for Thu, because I also had an idea for a message left for him. But it's not a huge thing. So what is your?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, go for it.
I mean, my thing is basically like the posthumous letter from Prince, you know, the automated like, well, I'm dead now. Here's a letter for you, you know, reveal from Prince Ismail. That's like, I mean, there's no reason you couldn't do both. If you're looking to leave a message for Thu.
Yeah. I think that is that's like a fairly quick thing. Because she has this cube, and Nikhil now is trying not to lie to Thu anymore. So anything that she has or knows about, she tells him. And also, we saw that footage. I don't remember if she heard what Giran and Thu were talking about, but she knows that he was originally helping Giran with this. So I think she's sort of like, okay, I gotta like let you know that about this thing.
Yeah, you definitely the sound was crystal clear. It was the video footage that was not positive enough to prove in court that something was going wrong.
Yeah, and then she didn't, at least at the time, see that the prince had beat him up. She's like, oh man, the DeSoto Combine got to him. So she since you left things in a rampage, I think Nikhil will come in a little after, and like tries to help. She's like, oh my god, what the hell happened here? Everything's like upended and stuff, and she like helps to pick it up. She's like, I just needed to leave something for Thu, but here, I'll help you. And she's like, it takes way too long helping them like remake their meal.
You're so good.
The family is like, oh my god, two and his lovers. Jesus Christ.
It's real night and day with this kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just have someone who's like normal, like this Nikhil person, right? She's on top of things.
Right, yeah.
She helps out, cuts all the vegetables, helps cook, sets the table, glued the plates back together. Just a stand-up person.
Yeah.
Now this Kieran
Wouldn't
person,
hurt a
though,
fly.
right, exactly.
She seems
You're always so
perfectly
nice.
normal.
You do so many good things for people. I just can't believe that, some people like to say a lot about how they're a good person, and they just want everyone to heap praise on them day in and day out for not doing anything. But you Nikhil, you've done so much for all of us over the year, even with Uncle
He's back.
he and his problems that we of course won't speak about in polite company, but things you didn't have to do. We're just so overjoyed and grateful for everything that you've done for us, and please maybe you'll show Francis some sense.
Yeah, Nikhil's very like, I don't, that's a lot of, everyone has their problems. And she's just like backing into Thu's room. She's like, we all have things that we've done that we don't like to talk about. I just gotta drop this thing, and then I have maintenance work. She's like in her like maintenance outfit, which like is very nice. It's like a very flattering shade of gray, and it like fits her well instead of being super baggy. It's all instead of like a normal jumpsuit.
Right. It's like clearly I have work to do. Like I need to be mobile.
Yeah. And she's got it like unbuttoned, got a thing under, so it looks all like super awesome, unlike I imagine a normal maintenance worker outfit. So she runs in and sees that Thu isn't there and just leaves a recording. And we'll just say that it like goes off at a later time, but we'll see the scene when
you leave something for two.
Yeah. But if we can, I'll flip to it that we do hear what the recording says. And so she walks off and does the thing, but the audience gets to hear what the recording is. Which is her saying like, okay, Thu, a lot has gone on, and I know there's, you haven't been answering my calls, and I haven't seen you in a couple of days. I know there was something going on with Gideon, and then, I don't know who that person was that vaporized the prince. Rest his soul. And, but I have to, not to add more onto your plate. I wish you could say this in person, but I just can't get a hold of you, and I need to let you know before things get out of hand. Kadea came to me the other day and brought me a cube that looked, I guess it looked like the real cube. I don't know, I've never seen it. But I needed to let you know that she came to me with that, and I don't know, I feel like there's more going on there than meets the eye. I know you and Gideon are possibly looking for it, and we haven't talked about it very often, but if you two do find the real cube, I think you should bring it to me. I don't think you should give it to Gideon. I've never gotten in the way between the two of you. Whatever that is your decision. And Gideon is a good person. She's still my friend, but she's not a leader that should take over the station. And I don't think anyone should have that level of power. I've seen just the power that we have normally corrupt people. I've followed orders of those people, and then I've killed people for that. And some of those people were awful and were also doing really terrible things. And some of those people were not. And they were just in the way or inconsequential or whatever. I've seen the worst of this station, and one person can't take that on. Finding a cube doesn't prove that you're a leader. You just find a thing that that doesn't have anything to do with how you should take care of a place. I just hope you'll consider that. I know you want this to be a better place, and I think we can make it a better place without this ridiculous architect's cube getting in the way. I think we should destroy it. So I hope you take this into consideration. And I don't know, when you and Keaton get together, there seems to be an energy, you get wrapped up in it. I totally understand. That happened to me too. And I don't want to pressure you in one way or another. I just want you to remember that I'm always here for you. And that as long as it takes, I'll be waiting. And even if you choose Keaton, I'll keep waiting. And it won't matter. I'll be here, and I'll be here to take care of you if you decide to turn back to me. Okay. I can't think of an awkward way of ending this, so okay, bye.
So I think that we see maybe Nikhil recording that initially somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then that's
works.
interspersed with shots of you helping around the house, and like cooking, and like playing with the kids, and like standing in the doorway, and the audio is just like playing over the whole thing, like you driving, going to wherever you need to go, and so it's sort of layering and establishing your mental state and also the character and your actions. But I think as you're like, I don't know a way that I can end this not awkwardly. Okay, bye. As soon as it's okay, bye. Were you going somewhere in particular?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Because you get out of your car, and a massive figure in jade armor slams a paw on the hood of your car and comes around the corner, and it is one of the Jaguar soldiers of the Espadon Empire. This is the one that we said like way back in a previous episode was like, you're gonna take down either Sin Problemas or you're gonna take care of Ismael, and we don't care which one you do, you're gonna put some order on this station because we can't, like, you're a deniable asset for us. And so this one, we'll call him Balam, Sergeant Balam, grinds his claws into the hood of your car and steps forward and snarls, "Nikhil, we had a deal."
She just looks at the damage. She's like, I hope you're gonna pay for that. That's my car. It's the company car. But anyway, yeah, we did have a deal. And I believe one of your requirements was met.
Yeah. Your car. That's funny, Nikhil. You seem to be under the impression that you're a free agent. Not that we own you. And he snaps his fingers, and two more of these big jacked jaguar soldiers come up from behind the car. So now you're flanked in this bad neighborhood of the space station alleyway. And he steps forward again, like kind of baring his jaguar teeth and snarling. We had a deal, and Ismail might be in the ground, but a lot of people are making a lot of moves that make me think something else is going on. We've been following that Trilaxian bastard's movements. And if he's dead, why are his people pushing a Tesoro facility right now?
Ooh. Ooh.
What do you do?
That's a good question. Let's see.
He snarls and smiles this wicked jaguar smile.
Mm.
What's wrong, Nikhil? Cat got your tongue.
You keep trying to intimidate me, but I'm an asset towards you. I mean, you could kill me, but then what do you have over everyone else? So just throw your offer out at me, and we'll see if it's good enough for me to take it.
He's very taken aback by the fact that you're not like bending, and I don't know if there's a move here necessarily.
Yeah, it was
yet, because you're like standing up for yourself. But I think he is like breathing in your face now, right? The actor with the jaguar makeup is just like inches away from your face, so you can feel his hot latexy breath. It smells like spirit gum and probably Old Spice. Just 2 cans to get rid of the rest of the smell and everything. Obviously, you're not upholding your end of the bargain. Either you know more about what's going on and you're not letting us in on the secret, or Ismail's not actually dead. So we're gonna do this our way. You find out what's happening, or we're gonna make you regret everything that you've done to this point. And just remember, Nikhil, you're right. We don't have to kill you. Why would we? So much better to let you squirm. And I think that's where the gossip columnist steps out of the shadows as well.
Oh no!
We have to give them a name. Let's call them Carmen.
Yeah.
Carmen, who works for the Corazon
No.
Station Inquirer, is standing there folding their arms. That's right, Nikhil. I would rather not kill you or see any hair on your head harmed if I could just have any sliver of evidence to prove you are as deeply black-hearted and foul of a person as I know you are, and if I could prove it to everyone. The Espadon Empire has been more than compliant with providing me all of the information I need about your little arrangement. And they can take it on the chin if they reveal that they've been working with an assassin this whole time. It's something that they can smooth over with money very easily. But you will be left twisting in the wind, shut out, with no friends left to catch you. What do you do?
I think, yeah, her like very confident demeanor shifts as soon as she starts to get the feeling that someone else is involved. And then when Carmen steps out, she's like, oh, no. I think for her, Carmen has been a thorn in her side, but it's also like a source of her guilt.
Yeah.
I don't think we brought up what her connection is. So she and Carmen were like briefly involved romantically, but during that time she got a job to kill Carmen's suitor, who was someone that Carmen actually really cared about, and she deliberated a little bit and ended up just taking the job and killing that person and then trying to explain it away to Carmen afterwards. Like, well, it was a job. I had to do it. What am I supposed to do? Not do my job. And that's where she started to decide that this might not be the correct path, that maybe there's a little bit more to it than just this is business. So she's like, Carmen, you're tied in with the Espadon Empire. You don't know what you're tied in with. Like, you're in way over your head. I know they're giving you this information. I've told you so many times I'm not that person anymore. I know I've hurt you and I want to make it up to you, but this is not the way to do it. Just, we need to talk away from them. I don't know what they're giving you. I can make you a better deal, but you're putting yourself in danger.
You want me away from them so you can have your friend Kidea sweep in and make everything go away and wave her magic wand again? You can't fool me twice, Nikhil.
No.
And we jump cut back to that conversation again, like
Uh-huh.
classic. The like dun dun, and then the camera goes like flashes white, and we see that scene where Kidea just leans in and whispers something, and Carmen just like goes pale and hands over the evidence against you. It sounds like you're trying to act with desperation.
Yeah, I think with her, all of her, like, I'm cool and calm and collected and in control has, like, washed away. In particular because she's like, well, now they could have just hurt Carmen, and there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
Right. So what is the situation you want to avoid here?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. I think Nikhil is okay. I guess she wants to avoid having to take this mission and continue to be, like, employed by the Espadon Empire. And, like...
Oh, so you're, like, trying to get out of your contract with...
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
Because my other thought is that she just wants Carmen to not be involved to, like, get her out of the situation, but I don't know if that makes quite
I mean,
as much
that also
sense.
makes sense. You can be like, hey, like, I want you to not... If I can get you alone, I know that I can convince you, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be working with these guys, and, like, you can do your revenge quest against me or whatever, I'm not going to stop that, but you don't do it with them.
Yeah.
I could see that being one angle. And the other angle is you, in so many words, saying, well, no, like, if he's dead or if he got vaporized, it doesn't matter if, like, his cronies are still doing things. Our contract was to get rid of either Sin Problemas or Prince Ismael, and Ismael's dead, so it doesn't matter what his cronies are doing. He's still... The contract was just to get rid of him. Right?
Yeah.
So which of those do you think fits better for what you're trying to do?
think the second. I think just trying to get out of this contract,
Yeah.
it just makes things more messy for her to be involved.
You can't say that you own me. I did my job.
Yeah.
Just because you can't do your job and control the rest of the station like you want to, doesn't mean I'm responsible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, are you doing this deferral for love?
I don't know. Like, maybe in a very, like, back of the mind way. Like, she's like, oh, if I get involved more with the Espadon Empire, it puts everyone at risk because everyone who's involved. But I don't think it's, like, directly.
Yeah. Are you doing it for vengeance?
Ooh. Also, no, I think.
Okay. Yep, I would agree on both of those counts. And are you doing things without guile and head on?
I think that's the case, yeah.
Because you're standing up, right? You're puffing your chest out.
Yeah, and she could just take this job and
Right.
probably complete it.
Okay, so it's a roll with +1.
Cool.
And any conditions that you have.
All
that
right.
relates.
I don't think she does not have any conditions. So 2d6. Oh, an 8.
Okay, so on a 7 and 9, I will offer you a worse outcome or an ugly choice. So what you're trying to do is say, like, we're not, like, our contract is done.
Yeah.
I think they can potentially pull you to take out Sin Problemas.
Ooh.
Because they're like, okay, well, you got one. Somebody's doing something.
Yeah.
There's still a problem, and they still do have blackmail on you. Like everyone.
Yeah.
So I think they agree that debt is settled. That's one thing, and then like now we're still gonna hold you accountable for Sin Problemas now. Like you're not out of the woods yet. If you can do that, then we're square. But they will back off and say like, you're right. You did deal with Prince Ismail. He's probably you're right that he's probably dead. You know, like how would he have survived? You've already told us what happened. Like he got vaporized, right? He's gone.
I showed you the video.
Right. So I think that's what they do is they're like, yeah, you're right. I'm fine. If he really did get dusted like that, then there's no way that he's coming back. So now you go uphold the other end of the bargain. You go after Sin Problemas. We said either or, and it's clear that it's got to be both. We'll send the credits to your account. Use that to replace your hood. And they snarl and they back off.
She's just like, fine. You got yourself a deal.
And we close out the episode on a little stinger that I think involves Kidea.
Yeah. So we see Kidea, for those of us just catching up with the episode, who has just led a combined army of genetically engineered racing cats and Prince Ismail's goons, who have been working under her direction after he is dead, or so we all think. And they have just done a raid on the Tesoro Combine and just really messed him up. So we see her riding on a cat, just like stalking imperiously through the halls. There are like sounds of distant laser fire and, it's cries of battle and stuff. But it looks like they've got the situation well in hand. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are also flanking her riding cats, and they get up to their prize, the maximum security vault. There's like some destroyed, automatic laser turrets next to it that are just like in pieces. And then a cat comes bounding up to her and it hands her like a maximum security clearance key card with like some blood on it that she takes out of its mouth and like swipes it, and the big, elaborate vault doors like turning and hissing and splitting apart and opening. And she walks in, and inside it's like a dark room, and we see there's like a pillar of light in the middle with one thing inside of it that we can't quite see, and she's walking up slowly. Her expression is just unreadable with like her big, insectoid eyes on the side of her head, and she's just like, her mouth is just slowly curving into a smirk, and then she brings out from behind her back one of the fake cubes that she's made, and is just holding it and turning it, and then another hand brings out another fake cube, and another hand brings out another fake cube, and she starts sort of like passing them slowly between her hands, like moving them around. And then she walks up, and suddenly the key card is in her hand. She swipes it on the pillar in front of her, and it goes beep, 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 beep. And then we see the real cube that was gotten by the Tesoro Combine, held in their maximum security vault. She reaches out with one more hand, takes it, and then just starts passing it around with the others. And it's indistinguishable, passing behind her back and around. The real cube is just lost among the duplicates, and she smiles.
Yeah, just Fushigis the,
Oh my God.
cube into this intricate spiral. I think the camera does that like twisting shot where it just rotates around as she rotates it around and around, and we can't tell which one is the original one or which was the real one. And that is where the episode cuts, just gently fading to black on the glow of the cube.
Yeah.
That's Corazon Station, baby. Thank you
still
so
got
much for joining us on
6
another-
episodes.
6 episodes left. Can you only believe that we're barely halfway done and we've already
Oh,
amped up the
it's so
drama?
good.
I have no idea where the rest of it's going to go, and I'm very excited. So thank you so much for joining us. Whether you are a first-time viewer, welcome to the party. We hope you stick around and watch more. And go back and check out the VODs that are on Twitch. Hopefully they'll be on YouTube at some point in the near future. If you're a long-standing fan, thank you so much for your continued support. We really love having you in chat every week and hearing your wonderful voices and your theories and your joy. It really inspires us to keep going. If you have anything you want to tweet about the show, you can get us on social media with the hashtag AllDisastersHere or hashtag AllNerdsHere. Drop your fan theories, drop your hype. Drop your watch threads if you're watching this show with your friends or your family. Thank you so much for all of those. They really give us life, give us joy. We're going to go around and say who we've been, where you can find us, and what we've got going coming up, starting with Rue.
Yeah. I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me at Cherry Drop on Twitter. I'm the resident producer here, as I am on Valor Live. And outside of that, I have an adventure coming up in Unbreakable Revolution and setting in Grasping Nettles. That's about it.
Yeah. Very excited to see all of that and how it shakes out. We have Alex.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at @FractalDragon, and I design games at fractaldragon.itch.io. In addition to this wonderful All Bimpock stream, I'm also on the All Bimpock stream of Chimera, Cape, and Blade every other Friday on Utopia. We have a superhero fantasy setting, and we have a moon base now, which is very exciting. So go check that out. It is really fun, and we have some very cool new characters coming in for the second season, so that's a great time to catch up with Chimera. I'm also on the Forever GM podcast. We're playing End of the World right now, and we'll be playing probably Dragon Hearts for our next game, so that'll be pretty exciting. Yeah.
Ooh.
Look forward to that coming out in the distant future because of the way podcasts work, but soon. I also have the Unplaytested Game Design podcast, which has been on a little bit of a hiatus, but will be hopefully coming back next week, so look forward to that as well.
We got Viditya.
Hey y'all, I've been DTO, and will continue moving forward. Continue to be myself.
That's
This
what you
bit-
think.
Oh.
Unless, nope, still me. Well, you can find me online on Twitter at ViddyTValetti, and online at most places of URL/ViddyTValetti. So on Twitch, on Patreon, on itch, where you can buy my games, ViddyTValetti.itch.io. I don't have a lot of upcoming project right now that I know of. Somebody tell me if I do. But Kevin's not here anymore. Kevin usually knows when I have a project I should be plugging. But I will quickly plug that I both of my episodes for Jeremy Gage's Draw Your Dice podcast just released. It's a wonderful podcast about designers and them talking about their work. It's also Jeremy is a Black tabletop creator, so it's a POC made podcast about him also talking about his own thing. I'm plugging somebody else's work, but I did a two-parter because I talked way too much about my own game design. So it was a lot of fun. So go check that out, and then ask me questions. I love to talk about how I design.
Alien
Also,
Archive.
what?
Alien Archive.
Oh yeah, I also wrote stuff for Starfinder, and it's finally out in the world, so you should order it. It's the Alien Archive 4. I really like what I did with it. Also, it's just really cool. Everything in there is really great, and a lot of BIMPOC were also involved in writing for that, so it's cool. Lastly, I did actually remember this, and Rue forgot this. Rue and I are both cast members on the Musafir's podcast, which should be coming back soon. Again, podcasts, timelines, recording, editing, it's a whole mess. But yeah, you should follow that because it's also a all BIMPOC cast set in a South Asian inspired world, and it's super cool.
Awesome. We got JR.
Hey everyone, I'm JR. I've been JR, but I'm about to be Viditya.
Oh my god!
Hey everyone, I'm
That's so
Viditya Valetti. You can find my games online. I'm also I write about goblins a lot. It's kind of weird being Viditya, but good, you know.
Good.
I'm gonna eat some pizza and put some dice in my mouth.
That's
Okay, back to JR. Hey. Oh, whew. All right.
Set that up so fucking quickly.
So you can find the articles that I write at bellblosssouls.net, where I write about various tabletop RPG things. Also, something that is a fresh, hot announcement that's so fresh, I didn't have the link until right before we streamed, so I couldn't update it for my thing. But I am in a play, a virtual, interactive, immersive. Well, I don't know if it's immersive, but a virtual and interactive play that you can watch. It is a live theatrical production, complete with live musicians playing a soundtrack to accompany it. The whole thing is happening courtesy of two organizations, American Berserk Theater, which is a theater that I'm a company member of, and Density 512, an Austin, Texas-based organization that supports brave and open musicians who champion contemporary programming and want to help make art more accessible for everyone, not just fancy people who can afford it. So they want, they're doing a lot of outreach in communities to give new and emerging artists space. They're a pretty awesome organization. We're collectively working, and I should say American Berserk Theater is also amazing. Our mission technically is to make wild theater that anyone can enjoy, but really it's to have a toilet in every play we can. Yes, I'm not even joking. It's in a very good way. But we're both working together to put on a play called Natatorium, which I will drop a link because it's live now. Let me drop a link in the chat. Wow. It's coming up April 9th, 10th, 16th, and 18th. Those first 3 days are at 8 p.m. Central Time and at 2 p.m. Central on the 18th. So it doesn't conflict with the show, so there's really no excuse for you not to go watch it. I am playing one of the gamer neighbors in this play. And it's just kind of a modern tale of like what you would do to try and achieve your dreams. Would you rob a rich jerk? I would. In a play, not in real life. I would never do that in real life. So check that out. Get your tickets now and until the days of the shows you want to see. That's the most exciting thing I have coming up. My special announcement was that. And also, if you didn't tune in to us in the intervening week, it's been 1 week since you looked at me. And that's, yeah, I will stop. Because you asked me to stop, not because that's the only words of that song I know.
I was trying to think of what the next line was.
Said I'm angry.
Yeah, that's what it is.
5 dances I lived with you. It's in the Digimon movie. Sorry. Go ahead.
You can also find, if you want, I'll put your message in my bio. There's a link there, so opportunity knocks.
There it is. Kevin unfortunately had to tap out because of internet issues, but you can check him out at knit_knack on Twitter, where you can unfollow his account. And I know that it would mean a lot to him if you could go to winconditions.com and check out all of his tabletop role-playing games. He makes some very cool game designs, very, very fun things. You can see, even in the past, for our one of our charity streams, we did a game of Bro Is It Gay to Doc. It's a very fun queer pirate game. So go check those out and find them on Twitter for great food pics and incredible miniature painting. It would be very special to all of us. I am Simon, and you can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I am a tabletop role-playing game designer. You can find my games at colorspraygames.itch.io. I am a professional GM for Magpie Games. If you go to magpiegames.com/curated-play, you can find out how you can get linked up with me or many other fantastic GMs running games like Masks, Bluebeard's Bride, and the upcoming Root role-playing game, which I have some work in. You can expect to see that very soon, hopefully by the end of April. So if you like woodland animals, you're going to see my name floating around in that book in a couple different places. It's very, very exciting. This will also be my final month with the program running games. So if you want the chance to run a game or play a game of Root with me on April 12th and 19th as part of a 2-shot, go to magpiegames.com and sign up when the schedule goes live in about 2 weeks. I will still be with the program. I will just be transitioning to more of a mentorship role within it. I just won't be running games live. So it's been a year of running that program, and it's been extremely successful for building communities. I'm very excited to keep helping out with it. I am also a voice actor for the Penumbra Podcast, which is a queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama. Season 3 has just completed, so there's never been a better time to get caught up on all the story and all the drama. If you want to hear some stories about being gay and doing crimes in space, or as a swashbuckling fantasy, that's at the Penumbra Pod on Twitter, thepενumbrapodcast.com, and available wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. And last but not least, I, as a cast member of All Nerds Here, have a show on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, where we play For the Dungeon, which is a game about monster minions and their evil overlord. We play them as puppets, so we have puppets that are playing monsters. It's a great time. Come back and watch that. Sunflower Street plays For the Dungeon on Sundays. With all of that being said, we once again want to remind you that this is a time for you to do something about the hate that is going on in the world, to take action. There is a lot of pain, there is a lot of mourning that we are all feeling, especially the Asian American Pacific Islander communities. So go check out the links that we've just dropped in chat once again. Get yourself educated, educate your family, educate your friends, your coworkers, your peers, and give what you can where you can, because, as we've said, white supremacy is a poison that affects the well that we all drink out of. We are all a part of this community, and we want to make sure that we are showing solidarity and tangible action to make sure that these kinds of things do not happen again. We would like to one day live in a world where we are all equitable, where we are all not only respected, but have the same basic human decencies that those who are in power enjoy. We would like to not live in fear. We would like to not live in a world that hates and fears us. So please do what you can. Use your platforms responsibly, get educated, and give what you can. We are going to be throwing a raid to some fine folks who are also using their platform responsibly. We're doing some fundraising for, I believe, domestic abuse, survivors of domestic abuse.
Survivors of human trafficking and women that are at risk for human trafficking.
Yes. Thank you, JR.
Mm-hmm.
So stick with us as we throw some support to Alex Ward 777. There's some fine folks that are doing good things. So if you would like to stay tuned, give them all of your support, give them your energy, show them how we do things over here at All Nerds Here. Thank you for watching once again. Remember, Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, support your queer family members and your friends and your community members and just people in general, and fight, stand up and fight for what you believe in, as long as what you believe in is human decency. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Be well.